It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, let's review.
We'll analyze the scene.
Sounds holly and jolly to me.
Before it's over, let's begin.
Bum.
Bum.
Yes. Bwomp. That's right, folks. Since the Christmas season is upon us, we thought the way to celebrate and get into the holiday spirit would be with some holiday reviews.
12 to be exact, decoratively divided into 4 categories for your Yuletide pleasure.
So without further ado, silver up those bells, light the multicolored lights, and go out and build a snowman. And join us as we get into some seasonal shenanigans. And tonight, we're unwrapping Arthur's Perfect Christmas with special guest star Monkey.
It's a monkey.
Hi.
Hey there, Monkey. All right. So, folks, oh man, this is a nostalgic favorite for all three of us, I would say.
Didn't know it would be for you.
Arthur, just in general, Monkey. I don't know. Like, we never really talk about Arthur, but like it's one of those things. Like Dragon, like you and I, we go back to our Scholastic Book Fair days, right? Like that's the boiling point. That's the melting pot where it all meets in the middle. I'm telling you, Scholastic Book Fairs.
I remember those. Yeah.
Good educational times, man. Good educational times.
Oh God. No, and it's like and I remember, because I'm old enough to remember, the old TVs that used to be wheeled out into classrooms on rainy days.
Cards. Yeah.
AV cards. Yep. And okay, let's watch Arthur. And of course, whenever that Ziggy Marley theme song would start playing, you knew you were in for a more fun time at school than you would be otherwise. And just that feeling of like, yes.
Envy.
Did I just stir up like super nostalgic feels in all you guys right there?
I saw some images. I don't know about experiences.
All right.
I got deep nostalgic connections to Arthur. I've always had way back, and of course, at some point I did drop. Honestly, after postcards from Buster, that's where I dropped off from it. But I was long time.
Postcards from Buster was kind of like the all grown up of Arthur.
To be fair, I mean, it's like as an episode, like it's like, hey, let's check in with Buster since he moved away, and then when they made it into a series, it's like, okay, I think I maybe gave an episode. Okay, there's no truth in this art. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, just like All Growed Up was a perfectly fine episode of late to middle tier Rugrats, but it didn't deserve its own series.
Yeah, because it was a good episode. Like,
you say like All Grown Up for Arthur. That just makes me want a Dog Sees God version of Arthur.
Which mean Aardvark sees God.
yes. Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, again, specifically, I guess, kind of getting a little bit of backstory on this. Not a lot, but it's mainly kind of our connection to Arthur. It's kind of the main
book fair.
Yes, aside from the book fair, I remember tuning in regularly to PBS, and of course, all the various kind of like the weird kind of split on the PBS channels. You got Weta Kids, and then you had PBS. That was a weird kind of
now the Sprout.
Yeah, I think now they've kind of made into, I don't know what they've done with it now. Because I remember a few PBS shows always kind of struggled because you had Arthur and you had Cyber Chase. Those are kind of the two I really kind of go to with PBS. And Sons of Boomerflu. So you had 3. I don't know if they're more, but those are the main 3, I guess. So this is, well, I remember I still have the VHS for this, honestly. The Arthur's Perfect Christmas. Luckily it was on YouTube because unfortunately VHS is it's been harder and harder to play these days. But this was kind of Arthur had a few specials, a few kind of direct to almost. I mean, they aired, but they also were instantly around the time they were aired, released on DVD and VHS. They had a couple specials. One very infamous one would be one with Nick Carter. Was it the Backstreet Boys? Is that or?
Yes, Nick Carter is the Backstreet Boys. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So they had like a
I grew
crossover
up
with
in the '90s. I know this.
yes, they had a crossover with the Backstreet Boys, but again, none of them they all pale in comparison to the big one, which of course was this in 2000 with Arthur's Perfect Christmas. And again, I watched that VHS tape lovingly. I haven't seen the show when I was younger.
Yeah. And just a quick little brief tangent. It is pretty cool. The show is still going.
Yeah.
I know there's like question of if it's still good, but it's impressive nevertheless.
I gotta tell you though, you're right. You're right. That is impressive. And actually, Arthur, from what I understand, last year it reached 20 years. So Arthur has been around since '96, which kind of puts it a little over 20 years. But that is an achievement. Absolutely, that's something
To tell you the truth, I think it's more of an achievement because Arthur has such a good spirit about it and such a good message to share. And it doesn't even matter if the quality of the actual episodes aren't really as good these days, because it's not like something like The Simpsons dragging out into infinity where it's just like, or Family Guy infinitely where dragging, Family Guy is like the anti-Arthur because Family Guy is just like spewing its vile shit all across the airwaves, whereas Arthur is just like, hey, what a wonderful time of day.
Yeah, and that I think absolutely hit on the head there.
They did a Halloween special recently that was pretty decent.
Oh. Well, look, Tiki, I think you hit around the head. It's still maintaining the same spirit and the same goal as the original, and that is trying to educate children, is also trying to be kind of a wholesome sort of thing there. So again, it's in the same spirit of what Arthur tried to do, which is something to admire. But yeah, at the same time,
I'll be right back.
Okay.
At the same time, it's kind of falling animation-wise. It's kind of falling into the Fairly Odd Parents is. And again, it hasn't gotten as offensive as something like Family Guy, but at the same time, Fairly Odd Parents, they've had to cut corners in their own Flash animation right now, as is Arthur. Arthur is now on Flash animation as well. So it's kind of like, in PBS's case, I think it's more of a budgetary thing, kind of gets it there. But at the same time, you go on for a point where you should have had an ending where you keep it going. But again,
okay, Dragon, there's like a big fundamental difference between Arthur and the Fairly Odd Parents. It's that the Turners are sociopathic monsters.
But again, it's trying to be a generational thing that kids today can experience the thing we experienced back then. So it's a noble intent with Arthur.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, because at a certain point with Fairly Odd Parents, I think Fairly Odd Parents is one of those shows where, like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I think at the end of the day, like, I feel like shows with a cynical edge to them, maybe the exception of South Park for me, except even though, South Park, Dragon, I know you're not a South Park guy, so you have, but South Park to me is even going downhill in recent years, but I digress.
Yeah, well, for me, too, again, it's like it's always a bit, it's kind of about capturing that.
Brickleberry is never going to stop running.
Oh, God.
What about Brickleberry? What?
So back on topic.
All right, what was it? Anyways, yeah, nothing's going to recapture that. It's about recapturing that nostalgic spark of like the Mr. Rogers episode. You know what I mean? You remember that one? It's like those little kind of little touchstones of your childhood. It's like those big messages that Arthur would take on. Aside from that, taking on like the fire episode. Yeah, like I'm just gonna keep citing Arthur episodes, but it's gonna be pointless. Let's just say there were a lot of memorable things that Arthur did in terms of like tackling kind of different subject matter on a kid's show. Usually it wouldn't be there, and again, it would give it due credit. It wouldn't just kind of write it off or just kind of go big or go home with it. It would just it would approach it with dignity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right, so should we start getting into the plot then?
No. Yes.
Okay.
All right, Dragon, take it away.
Okay, here's the plot in a nutshell. Okay, so Arthur is dreaming of the perfect Christmas, and he kind of combats a lot of holiday, as well as many other characters in the special. They all combat some holiday disappointment, let's call it. Some examples of this, we got Francine dealing with a friend Muffy, who does not understand that she celebrates Hanukkah, does not quite grasp the concept of that. Buster Buster's mom is overcompensating around the holidays, leading to some seasonal stress for old Buster there, old Buster Bunny. DW threats over Santa getting getting her Tiny Tina the talking tabby, or as we should say musically, no,
let's not.
I know. I was seeing if there was going to be a brave soul among us who would.
No, there's not.
Oh, we're all cowardly. Okay.
Yes, we are. Yes, I will proudly admit that I'm a coward in that regard.
Just testing the waters there, folks. Just testing the waters anyway.
Maybe if I was feeling better.
Right. So we have Clumsy.
Hey, Dragon.
Yes.
You were muddying the waters.
Such a random pool.
I know. It is, isn't it?
Okay. You're just making me mad that the Miracle Soul's not coming out in December like it should. You're reminding me of my own Christmas frustrations, Tiki, but I guess it all does relate to this. I guess.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're visited by clumsy Uncle Fred. He drops by. Arthur's perfect gift for his mother breaks, and in the end, all the stories have a seasonal happy end, and it snows.
Arthur learns a lesson that was, spoken of by a wise man in one of the classics of cinema. Then it don't plan too much. It may not come out right.
God. Oh my God.
Words to live by. Words to fucking live by.
So, with that said,
it's so true. It's oddly true. It's oddly similar, Monkey. Good pull. Anyways.
So I suppose we should transition into our wonderful characters.
Hey, what a wonderful time of day to talk about the characters. I'm literally going to do that for every transition now.
Really?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Oh, goody. All right. So, all right. Let's start with our title character.
Arthur. All right.
Yes. Arthur. Not Arthur Christmas.
Yes,
different
the
Arthur.
father of the Weasley clan.
God. So he was supposed to be killed off in Order of the Phoenix, but then, J.K. Rowling was like, you know what? I like this guy.
Don't be silly. We're talking about Grand Theater Master Arthur Miller.
So instead, she killed off Mr. Ratburn.
Oh, man. Okay, what are
but
the...
You shouldn't have been sniffing out that cheesecake anyway. So
King Arthur...
No, okay, enough of this silliness. Arthur Reed, the American icon, Arthur. Let's talk about him. So, Arthur's trying to have the perfect Christmas. It's
wait, hold on, Dragon. One more pull.
Come on.
Isn't John Lithgow's character in Dexter named Arthur?
I was hoping you were going to say I was hoping you were going to say John Lithgow's character in Daddy's Home 2.
No, not. I know it's not. I know it's not Arthur and Daddy's Home 2, but
that would be wonderful, though.
Yeah, but that would have been funny.
Yeah,
that would have been a funny pull.
But yes, Tiki, his character in Dexter was named Arthur. Yes.
Kyle. Okay, I got.
God, that was terrifying. Don't do that again.
Yeah, John Lithgow and Dexter was terrifying.
Well, yeah, but I mean that was well written Emmy terrifying. This
moment right here, this moment right here between us. This is exactly what Mark Brown expected when he started writing the Arthur books.
Oh, hey, look at this, Tiki. Look at you're shaming Mark Brown. Come on.
All right, I'm sorry, Mark Brown.
As you should be. Okay, so Arthur Reed is trying to have a perfect Christmas. He wants snow. He wants all the trim. He wants the basic necessities of a holiday. He's not asking for a lot here. I mean, snow is just everyone asks that around the holidays. Well, for the most part, everyone kind of crosses their fingers at some point for hoping for snow. But he wants a Christmas dinner. And what's really nice about Arthur's arc in the specials, he just wants to make his mother happy with a gift of the gift of redemption for himself in a way.
That's kind of crazy. I swear we used to have, if not still have, a bird like that.
Huh.
It's fun. I also had a bird. Well, not as small like that, but a similar Christmas bird. Yes. Trippy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Arthur, I think you're right that his arc is definitely, it's very satisfying in the sense that he doesn't really want a lot, but at the same time, he has to go through that kind of disappointment arc of like not everything going, going to plan.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is the first time we really had like a real discussion of Arthur. I mean, how do we feel about Arthur in general? I mean, he's always kind of like, he was kind of the educational kind of more kind of scholastic published version of Charlie Brown in many respects. He was kind of PBS's answer to Charlie Brown to an extent. So I mean, there's always so Arthur does have quite a following.
I'd say there's a touch of Arnold in him.
Certainly, that's what I'm saying. We have like these great characters from these properties that kind of embody kind of that everyman character so well. And you have Charlie Brown,
Yeah,
you got your Arnolds, and you got your Arthurs.
I mean, if it's Arnold, then it's more of a short man than everyman. But
True.
Puns.
Yes.
I'm glad you bring up Arnold though, because this reminds me of one of my favorite Hey Arnold episodes that didn't quite make it onto my top 10 list that we did earlier.
Which was
Arnold's Perfect Day, I believe it is.
Was it the list or is
yeah,
it
the list. Yeah, that's what it is. The list.
Because the list, Arnold just has to go through through a weekend, like a Saturday. He's basically trying to do like all the fun kid stuff on a list.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a very similar arc of like he learns to have fun, but like he learns to. It's basically kind of like about shifting expectations. About like making the best even though things don't go exactly as you thought they would.
And it's a very relatable story that Arthur embarks on in this.
And I'm going to have to embrace that story when I go to Disney World, because I can pretty much guarantee you it's not going to go how I think it will.
Yeah, you're not going to get the dinner you want. Instead, they're going to decide and make a hipster dinner that they might have had when, whatever time period Epcot represents.
No, I'm just saying, like, one way or another, there's so many moving parts in that place, like, something is going to go wrong. Like, I just know it. I just know, like, something, in those 5 days, something is going to go wrong.
Yeah, right? you should do the pancake thing.
Yeah, of course, that's the premise of a ton of rides.
Oh, God, you're right. Oh, man. I set myself up for that one, right?
Seriously, you should consider doing the pancake thing, man. It's a magical experience.
I'm sorry, what the pancake thing? What?
Well, I know. I'm sorry, you're talking about Disney World, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, Buster's mom burns your pancakes.
What?
I'm so confused by both of you right now, equally.
What?
I'm saying sometimes you change which character it is, but I mean it's pancake breakfast with Mickey, and then they have pancake breakfast with Darth Vader, so they've kind of switched up with stuff, including the lamb. It's like a breakfast kind of thing they do.
You're just talking about character dining in general, I think.
Well, yeah, I'm saying they had like a breakfast kind of specifier. I don't know if they still have it or not. I'm saying there was a kind of a meal specifier. It was nice.
And then Buster's mom burns your pancakes.
Yes. Well, that would be for the Darth Vader one. He just
okay, but no. That was a good segue back into Arthur. Let's not ruin it, Dragon.
Yeah.
Good segue. Don't waste the good segue. All right.
Okay,
right,
so
who do you want to talk
Arthur's
about?
dad's hipster dinner. I guess.
God. Yeah, it's a terrible idea. However, it did not turn out disastrously like I thought it would. So I kind of applaud for that. Apparently, the food that turned out well enough.
Well, I think it's kind of like a weird sort of like coincision with Buster's thing with the brunch.
Yeah.
God.
It is, just mentioning, it is cool how this special, like, acknowledges Jesus being born is, why we have Christmas.
Yeah, and again, that's you kind of pull
Twice.
What?
They do it twice.
Yes, they do. And it's kind of something to admire. Like, we haven't really done. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's some bit in between that's kind of made direct. I'm saying famously, again, with the kind of their everyman comparisons here, you go Charlie Brown, of course, so they have Linus's big speech in that. It kind of addresses all that. So it's kind of a nice pull there.
All right, so Dragon, let's go ahead and move on to Arthur's Linus Buster.
Sure. So yes, Buster's always been a fun. Again, they give him a spin-off, so again, Buster has some popularity there. And Buster's he's very much kind of. He always feels like, if not Linus, he's always felt like kind of Skeeter to Arnold's. To Arthur's Doug.
I could see Skeeter. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I really love Buster's story in this. I really do. Where Buster's just these mothers overcompensating for, and yeah, I love how we address all these real world different
It's
kind
so
of
damn relatable. And Dragon, you know what I mean?
living
I'm sorry, go
situations.
ahead, Monkey.
Yeah, I was just saying precisely.
Yeah. It's because it addresses, like, it just hones in. It's like literally like it touches on a nerve that only a very, it's not something that everyone is going to relate to, but I did go through a divorce, so my parents went through a divorce when I was like 9, so you know what I mean. Like, nothing like this in particular happened, but I get it. I get kind of like the overcompensation. I get the, anyways.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Dave. In Arthur, it's a big thing, and that's when we get the Naughty Nice, especially. I'll bring this up, but basically with all these characters as we're going through them, they all have like kind of a different living situation. They all have like a different experience. We kind of highlight all those different experiences, and it kind of makes for like a richer holiday special. Now we're seeing how each of these guys are, what their expectations are. Arthur just wants kind of just an ordinary Christmas, and we get this great flavoring and everything else. Where Buster, it's what's Christmas like for a child of divorce, and we're not shying away from the word divorce on a kid's property. It's like, yeah, this is what happens. And what's so great is that Buster's kind of worrying over his mother instead of while she is amply worrying about his experience. Again, it's like Buster has to kind of stress this out and like how his mother's a nervous wreck around the holidays.
Well, Buster almost kind of has like the reverse arc of Arthur, where he wants the simple Christmas. Like, he literally wants it to be where just whatever, like no pressure, no expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. She's the perfectionist, and then she's the perfectionist where Arthur's everything's just falling apart. So yeah, see your point there. Yeah.
Okay, so should we move on to I can't call?
Well, what about
Francine?
Sure, let's talk about old Franny.
So yeah, I love Francine's arc in this story.
Yes, Monkey.
Token Jew.
Oh, come on.
No, that's not fair.
In a way. I mean, yeah, in their defense, they did make a Yom Kippur episode, so good for them. But
yeah. So, Mikey, this is actually interesting because I thought it was very tastefully done, Francine's whole arc here. So
yeah, they do it nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Joke, I guess.
I mean, it's like I don't think it does it like it doesn't quite get into the into like the deep cut heritage that the Rugrats Hanukkah special does, but
yeah, it is just kind of like this character. Yeah, it turns out they're Jewish, but they do nicely with it.
Yeah, well, you got to remember again, they can't. It's not Francine's special. If she's a factor in it, but that's the thing. If it was all about, then we'd spend more time kind of fleshing out the meaning of Hanukkah.
Sure,
we get some cultural significance, at least personal significance. Yeah.
With Francine, of course, she's frustrated with her.
Yeah, as far as the plot goes, that's why she's here with people she hates instead of with Muffy and Muffy's estate.
Oh God.
There we go. I got it out.
Yeah. That's a joke that's gonna go straight over Dragon's head.
I got nothing. Anyway,
God.
So I mean, it's another real world thing where you have friends. If you're a kid and you have friends who are again celebrate different things, and just some of your friends just don't get, especially when they're self-absorbed like Muffy Crossfire.
I did experience this a little bit growing up. I did have a couple Jewish friends in elementary school, and like it was nothing to the extent of this. Like I wasn't an asshole about it by any stretch, you know what I mean? But it was kind of like one of those.
You on a throne saying Hanukkah's not important in Christmas.
Oh God! No, but it was one of those things where it's like it was kind of like weird to talk about with them. You know what I mean? Because the concept about it was so foreign to me. Like obviously, Rob, like you and I, we're bros now. Of course, it's nothing. It's but and I'm not saying there was any malice behind it at all. I was just saying, as a kid, just the idea, like, wait a minute, they don't celebrate Christmas. There's this whole other thing behind it. Like, to be honest with you, it kind of fascinated me, but it was like so the cultural significance of it went so over my head that it made me a bit uncomfortable to like actively acknowledge with these friends, if that makes any sense.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. It's like it definitely, you know, I was like, oh, that's really neat, but it's something there. It's like, okay, I feel like it's not really my territory. But now it's like, you know, now, and I think not just Hanukkah, but kind of getting into Dragon. Do you mind if we go over some of the like a couple of the side characters here? I don't necessarily know their names, but they're celebrating different traditions.
Like George and the Brain, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
The feeling, that sensation when you're older and you realize that the Christmas Carol George and his family sing at the end is the same one from Rejected.
Oh, God.
Dance! Everybody dance!
All right. Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's not much to talk about with these characters, but, you know, one of them celebrating Kwanzaa.
I'm not sure exactly how the race factor works in this world of animals, but okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funny like that, but yeah, just he celebrates Kwanzaa. It's
you know what I like about it though is that it does openly acknowledge that that it's totally okay to celebrate a holiday that was you know, like invented modernly.
I never thought of that.
I don't know. I like that. It's like a little. It's a nice little like. Oh, okay. That's like kind of a nice like different layer to the idea of a holiday. You know, like it was like literally invented to give a culture something to celebrate, you know, in a time where they might feel isolated. And so I don't know. I thought there was I think with all of these, there's a nice message behind it. And
it's a great sampling of different holiday experiences. It's a great thing about this special, man.
Yeah, like how each of us does it, really.
It's like a better version of Olaf's Christmas Adventure.
Well, that was a cheap shot, Tiki.
I know. I knew it was a cheap shot, but I took it.
You should be ashamed of taking that shot.
Oh, no, I'm not ashamed.
They go to a French restaurant in this, which justifies putting the Arthur ride in the France pavilion.
Oh, God. Okay. All right.
Anyway, so let's transition from Francine to Muffy. So these were kind of on our what?
Rent.
Anyway.
So Muffy is like just kind of a terrible person in this special.
Sorry, now I'm picturing Arthur as Mark.
Oh, God. Okay. Dragon, I feel, is getting frustrated with the rent. Let's kind of tone down on the rent just a little bit. I know that's why you wanted to come on in the first place, but
you didn't bring him on here for spite, did you?
The rent jokes were just a bonus.
I know. I'm sorry. I worded that wrong, Monkey. I know. You're right. I'm sorry.
So yeah, Muffy definitely has to learn a lesson.
Yeah, Muffy, she's in her own spoiled world. What I like about the balance we struck with Muffy is that, again, she's not cruel, but she's just really oblivious. That's the way I read. I read that she's more oblivious than she was cruel, which kind of led to some very insensitive statements, but again, not coming from an evil place, just she's very oblivious and stupid.
So who wants Francine's present?
I love how it's just like so instantly like, oh, Francine's coming, not coming. Like, you know, it's not like you can save it for her. You know,
I'll bet you
like
George took. I'll bet you George took that present. Even George was kind of the Johnny 2x4 of our three. Always kind of was. He was always sort of
Muffy forgot to invite him.
Maybe.
Oh, there's George. I forgot to invite him.
I'll bet George just kind of wandered in. He's always like George has always been kind of that. George has always been kind of that leftover character. He's got a cool design, so we'll work him in there, and we just kind of give him the weird stuff to do. It was like, come on, George. Yeah, man, we did breach some interesting stuff with him. But I mean, it's like, hey, well, we remember George. Where he has he had the dyslexia episode. Oh yes, that's relatable. Yes.
All right.
Yes, we give.
So Allison.
So Muffy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so she goes on an arc of learning, kind of getting Hanukkah 101 by her friend Francine, and
she becomes a bit more woke in this episode.
Sure.
I gotta say, she doesn't have like a huge redemption or anything. She's just kind of like, oh, that's kind of neat. I understand.
Yeah, I realized why I was insensitive.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh boy, who? Oh god, no, this next character is gonna be. All right, let's go from Luffy to DW.
Oh god.
Oh god. All
Monkey,
right.
anything to say about DW?
Oh Jesus.
Hmm. I'm not sure.
Okay. Oh man, DW,
What isn't
Jesus.
We all have our. Can I just? Do we all have our DW scars? We all have the DW scars from us.
I like that phrasing. Yes, yes.
I'm not the only one, right? You have it too, Tiki, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
God, this DW is even rewatch it. Basically, this whole special was like it was a big breath of nostalgia, and it was a nice plume of nostalgia, like
But with that nostalgia comes the nostalgia of, oh god, that's right. This character just dragged everything down when she was on.
Well, it was a plume of nostalgia and fresh air. There was just the slightest hint of napalm, and that was DW.
God.
Because again, she's
in the morning.
Yep. Oh god, now that out of context just sounds god. Anyway, so she's really annoying, and she's obsessed with getting her Tina to talking Tabby. God.
Yeah.
Oh god, the most annoying song I have ever. Right, you know what?
And they've done other annoying songs too. That's the thing. Arthur's good at replicating the actual annoying songs that we live with in like Crazy Bus and talking Tabby, and of course like the Barney parody with Mary Moo Cow or something Moo Cow.
Okay, gentlemen.
I'm curious, Tiki, as someone who would go to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, what have you thought of the Santa Cruz line growing up?
Oh yeah, that was a nice little like Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because Santa Cruz was always like growing up. It's like I always associated like because it's a beach town, right? So I associated it with like it's like where Santa goes to vacation, Santa Cruz.
That's Winter Summerland. You'll see it at Disney World, maybe.
God.
But yeah, that's I get you. I hear you.
Okay. Anyways, so guys, I feel like I've built up some courage talking about this, and I feel like I'm ready to give you one verse of the Tina the Talking Tabby song.
Oh God, Tiki, are you sure, man? I mean, you don't have to be.
I can do it.
You don't have to be a hero. You don't have to be a hero for us.
You guys have to just count me down, though. All right?
Count you down from 3.
Yeah.
3,
2,
1.
1.
Tina, 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 the talking Tabby. I tried to class it up a little.
They call me Tina.
Tina, 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 talking Tabby, talking Tabby. All right, all right.
Okay.
Oh man, those shivers hurt. Oh boy, God.
I'm just, you know what? Just one for the record. Tina, 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 the talking Tabby. All right, there's one. There's one.
The point is, the problems at DW still stand, but now we're doing it in a holiday
temper
setting.
tantrum, man. Can you just address the temper tantrum?
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought we were going to save all the DW rage for naughty and nice, but I mean, if you want to...
I think we need to broach this, because it's a big part of her character.
She does this a lot, and I get it, she's 4, but I mean, come on, man, it just is painful. Even rewatching, it's like, I remember being in pain with this one.
Honestly, like, I get it. I get that it's part of her character, but, like, I feel like a character like Angelica Pickles, as unlikable as Angelica could be at time, she represents the spoiled brat quality in a, and if not a more likable way, at least a more down-to-earth way that's not, like, totally grating.
It's basically, DW is sort of like my feelings on the character of Dee Dee Pickles, but kind of just lumped in with an Angelica type. That's the thing. It's basically, what if you kind of, basically, it's the Angelica character model, but it's basically a Dee Dee-like character.
I could
kind of approach to that character, I guess. It's a Dee Dee approach to an Angelica Pickles.
So could you see Dee Dee throwing a fit over not getting a Tina the Talking Tabby doll?
Well, I could see her having I'll tell you what they do, Tiki.
God.
On the
Oh, God.
Rugrats, what they do is they have a running gag with Dee Dee where, hey, she's not standing up for herself, correcting her name, and by the end, when the relative leaves, it's Dee Dee. You know, she's gonna be a stupid running gag, and then by the end, we're supposed to have like, oh, there's a hearty laugh at Dee Dee's expense.
No, Dee Dee wanted the talking Dr. Lipschitz doll.
Yep.
Stu, all I wanted for Christmas is a talking Lipschitz!
Oh, she's full of that one, I'll tell you. Anyway.
I love that we were able to drag DD Pickles into this conversation.
How did you think we weren't going to drag Dee Dee into this with a character like DW? I'm saying, these guys stand right, well, not shoulder to shoulder, but they stand right next to each other, these two guys.
Would you say they're on a Mount Rushmore of unlikable animated characters?
For me, yes. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, yeah.
Who else will be on that Mount Rushmore? I'm curious.
Oh, geez. Maybe Caillou.
Caillou? Yeah, I could see that.
I'm trying to think who the fourth one would be. I think Caillou's he's in the running. I don't know,
What's her name from that stop motion thing you talked about?
Yeah, we're talking. He's referring to Super Mansion, and Dragon actually likes that character that I despise.
Well, look, I'm not offended by the character. I don't think I'm just.
So the point is, the D in DW's name does not stand for Dora, as we were led to believe.
Oh boy.
Right. Anyway. So yes, well, in the end, she gets a duck that kind of pacifiers.
Good for her. I'm sure she learned a valuable lesson.
See, here's the thing. Initially, a duck. See, if I were in DW's pint-sized shoes, Tiki, if I were on Christmas morning, not getting what I want, I wouldn't make a big scene about it. But if I did, I mean, if I were upset, if I weren't crazy about what I got, now I'm just giving this other item instead. This duck that could say 5,000 things.
I know, right?
I'm a little impressed. I would try it. I would.
But Dragon. Hold on, though. It can't say meow. I mean, that's a fucking deal breaker, man. That's a deal breaker. That's just not right. I literally just now slammed my fist on my desk. I was so angry about it. You can't say meow.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. I did slam.
Wish we could sterilize. Can't we just sterilize some of the children's posts? Anyway.
I mean, you realize that is what sets DW into the tantrum. That thing specifically, like that detail. Like at first she's kind of like impressed by like the 5,000 words, but then it's just like he can't say meow.
That kid, I wish that kid would live in the yard. I really do. I just wish they just put her out and let the dog take her place. I like Pal. Why can't Pal just be the fourth member of the family? Just put her out in the yard, throw her like a steak or something. I don't know. Like soundproof the windows.
Oh man.
Then she escapes and gets caught by the pound, and I'm not gonna go further.
Oh shit!
Hey, I just said put her outside. He wants to put her in the kennel. He wants to give her to Mrs. Deagle from the Gremlins. That's what Monkey wants.
I don't know. Well, there's another Rent joke I could make here.
All right, let's just move on so we can avoid that. So let's move on to America's favorite, Binky.
Yay! Yeah, he's like the herald of this.
He really is.
Yeah.
Except he's
Binky's always been like that.
So he doesn't really have a lot to do, but just as always, he's just like super likable and it's like he's trying out different foods and he's a terrible cook, but god damn it, we love him anyways.
Yeah, he's trying. I appreciate that he's trying.
And of course, his whole plot line is that his family helps out at a homeless shelter.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That is a really nice message.
Exactly. Binky, again, we always give layers to Binky. We always give him like some good arcs here and there. Like he's always
he has one amazing moment in the special that
he does, and he doesn't. However, he doesn't exactly have kind of like a barometer of like because I was hungry. He doesn't quite have that.
God.
But still, he's always been kind of like a good barometer for like when you reach the show. Like, hey, but name an Arthur side character. You know, it says, well, okay, aside from Buster, well, Pinky.
Yeah,
Mommy,
exactly.
why didn't you get me Tina the Talking Tabby? I was hungry.
Now, there's a crossover I want to see. I want to
man.
see Harold and Pinky
Harold and
going on an adventure.
DW.
Harold and
God.
Pinky go to White Castle.
Yeah, I'm saying Harold and Pinky. That's an adventure right there.
Please, yes. Anyways.
Okay.
So I guess
think of an obscure Jake and the Fat Man joke, but let's just move on.
You know what, Dragon? With all the rent jokes, you can have an obscure joke. Throw it out there. Throw it out there.
I was just together they could be Jake and the Fat Man.
All right.
I love that you call Rent obscure.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying for
I know.
popularity-wise nowadays, it's kind of waning. But anyways,
Okay. So, all right, we kind of covered the families within the characters a little bit, right? So, I mean, we don't need that. Yeah.
I think we're good on that. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we should move on to Naughty and Nice then, right?
Okay, so can we just go on another just like hypothetical DW like torture rant?
Okay, come on. Let's look. As much as I detest, and believe me, I do detest DW.
I don't want to hear it.
But much as I do, let's not torture small children.
Tear me apart, DW.
We're gonna get into another why so like what if,
Why are
aren't we?
you so hysterical?
There's something I want to bring up to Tiki about why so, but I can't do it here because it's going to derail us completely. So we're just going to move on. From
I'm curious now, so you'll definitely have to ask me after the show.
All right, just remind me. All right.
Okay. You piked my cue.
But getting on point.
Yes, please.
Naughty and Nice. So what do you want to start with? You want to start with DW with the naughty, or you want to start with?
Yeah, I think we should just start with DW, just because, like, honestly, like, is there anything else besides DW that's bad about this?
Most of my stuff umbrellas under DW. You got a few minor things here, but just the DW of it all. So DW gets some of the worst gags in the thing, and of course in total she grates on me very much. So she grates like how she kind of constantly wants the annoying music in the car, her tantrum, which we've already kind of gone over. Just all of it is just in my notes. All of it underlined exclamation point bad. And I think the bathroom gag is really unnecessary. Really, just
the bathroom gag actually made me really uncomfortable.
I know, right? See, it's been years since I'm familiar with it.
I got to admit, when it first started with the whole, with Uncle Fred, and the shaving cream, I was like, oh, okay, that's
kind of cute. It's like, okay, here we go.
But then, as soon as Arthur went to the bathroom, I was like, no, oh god.
Here's the thing: it's been years since I've watched this. Okay, so you have some familiarity with Arthur, but again, this is on VHS tape.
You're just gonna derail this, aren't you?
It's just been years since I've watched the special. I completely forgot about this gag, and the minute it was unfolding, I was like, no, they wouldn't possibly do such a cheap, stupid gag. Come on. No, it's not. And of course, as it's continuing to unfold, so no, they'll take the high road. Just brushing his tears. So he's gonna like foam on his face, and instead of just gonna think, oh, okay, well that's obviously not saying that's Arthur. Ha 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 ha. But as it unfolds, just like, no, God.
all right.
It was stupid. I hate it. Anyway,
I enjoy it.
yeah. Essentially, it's kind of a bum gag. That's about it. All right. Yeah, I think there's too much singing with actors. But here's the thing: I think the songs, on the most part, I think they're animated really well. I think the sequences are well done. However, especially the first sequence, because I should love that sequence. My problem is I think it's the lyrics or something music. It just sounds like someone talking instead of a song, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
I honestly think Buster's song and Muffy's song are both really well composed and have some pretty clever lyrics in them.
Yeah. I'll give you that, but I'm just saying, like the opening song is the main example.
No, I agree. The opening song is the most forgettable of the songs, I think.
Plus, I mean, I don't know if it's the actor can't sing well, or if I think it's just the lyrics. It just feels like he's just talking instead of singing, and I love the 17.
It could just be a direction thing.
Yeah, it might be it too. It's unclear because they probably used. I don't know if they had a voice actor or actress for Arthur, but I mean, I assume they might use the kid actor instead, which could always have come.
Well, Arthur's always been played by a rotating set of kids, so yeah,
that makes sense.
It'd probably be a kid.
I was thinking some of the actors, as Tiki, sometimes they're the voice actresses who are,
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, as I know through that conversation, that I should probably put a link to. But anyways, I digress. Through that conversation, I know that the process of Arthur has always been just rotating child actors,
kind of like with Hey Arnold and Peanuts.
Exactly like Hey Arnold. Yeah.
Let's see. So we were saying 17 types of pie, Tiki.
Oh God.
Enough to drown a Franco.
So much pie.
That's even more than what we had in Garfield.
You're right. It is more than what we had.
We had 5 in Garfield. Now we have 17.
Well, are any of them people?
I don't know. It's 17, and we knew 5 kind of excluded people, but people pie could be. There could be a. You don't know if Michael Severus was in this special.
An actual pig on this show.
Perhaps no. I'm just about to go on a bizarre tangent about Arthur's father, but no, that's not. So, let's see. Right, that bounce when the gift breaks. That bounce is real hard to sell. I mean, they come on. Like,
I don't buy it either. I know
the animation did not reflect it like a real world, like bouncing, like something lands and it kind of slides like they're a little bit on
I
blanket.
could see like maybe like the beak of the bird breaking off or something, but not it just completely cracking in two.
That's what I'm saying. Plus, why didn't he have any padding in the? I don't get it. Yeah.
Well, he thought that Gwyneth Paltrow's head. He thought that Gwyneth Paltrow's head would be enough padding in the box dragon.
Much like her company.
Like so much dark references to Arthur. Oh my God!
I'm going to make it a pointed reference instead of a dark reference. But much like your company, it doesn't have much substance. Whoa!
Whoa!
Ain't that goop?
All right.
So. Those are all my gripes with it. Again, mainly DW stuff, but aside from just kind of minor things. You guys got anything else for naughty?
I mean, I just like if a duck has 5,000 phrases, why can't one of them be meow?
Why wouldn't you just say meow?
All right, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's like the William F. Buckley of ducks. It's very.
There, that you have that.
All right. So let's move on to the nice. Just in general, I think this is just a very, very, thoughtful, sensitive, warm, special. It's just very, very heartwarming. I think every storyline kind of comes together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. As we mentioned, all the holidays are well represented educational because you got Christmas, you got Hanukkah, you got Kwanzaa with Brain, you got kind of a Swedish kind of. It's the crown of not the crown of lights, the something of light. You got the Swedish crown of light. We're in the crown of light. They're going for the walk. That's what Georgia's got going on. They have a Swedish variation on the holidays. There's a lot of authenticity in the holidays that are in the holiday experiences and the situations, as we also went through with the characters. There's a great message about things not going perfectly in life, and kind of rolling with that. So, of course, it's really adult messages here and there in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's true to the humor and the feel of the show. It does very much feel like a special, but at the same time, it feels like, okay, this is coming from Arthur, but it's not just another episode. It's a special, not an episode.
I mean, yes, but I feel like that's kind of what they were going for. Like, it is very much a special, and I kind of like that about this. Like, it's not just like a Christmas themed episode of Arthur.
That's what I'm saying. I like that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I love there are no magic fixes. Like nothing gets no one gets what they want. But again, like the message of everything, they just kind of they things don't go perfectly. They're like they don't just magically get what they want. The snow maybe being the miracle exception. Okay, Arthur gets snow. It's basically the only thing he gets really as he really wanted, and everything else.
Well, the snow is a much more passable miracle exception than the other miracle exception that we're going to talk about. But
yes, Mr. Eager Beaver, but we'll get there.
Anyways.
Let's see what else. Oh yes, I love this. I gotta breach this more with moments just to touch on a little bit. I love all the products and Christmas gifts in the special. I love I love my gadgets. I love my product placements. I love all my fake kind of world kind of products and stuff here. The world building fake products. So we had some good ones here, and Arthur's always been famous. We've had like some great superhero parodies in Arthur, like Bionic Bunny and Dark Bunny, and we've had. Here we have like the Olive Deep Hitter, these are some cool gifts.
Yep.
The Veginator.
Can I just say that Uncle Fred is awesome?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, Uncle Fred is awesome, Tiki.
Yeah, he's a very fun character to have here.
Yeah, I mean he's bumbling with a good heart. He's got wisdom about it. He's I love that in the end he's not a worst case like Arthur. There's this great telling sequence where Arthur imagines a worst case scenario where he would be the next bumbling. He'd be more bumbling than Uncle Fred. But as he experiences in his arc, he said, no, Uncle Fred is not a worst case scenario. He actually helped me.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, Fred's got some. He was a good one-off character. I don't know if he came back. I'm saying he was a good I remember this being like an introduction to Fred at the very least. So.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's a really good character here.
Okay, so should we go on to moments then?
Sure.
All right, so I'm kind of scrambled on who has what first chronologically.
I'm trying to think about that. Who is what first? I don't know. It might be me. Well, I mean, I have like I have both. I have like kind of ones earlier on. I also have ones later on. So I don't know. I'm kind of getting all over the place.
I mean, I don't mind going first.
Okay, well, go first then.
Okay.
Well,
so
just someone go first. So
transitioning from the Uncle Fred scene, I absolutely love the brief scene we have with like Fred's calling Arthur down to dinner and and he sees Arthur crying and he just instantly goes into like super uncle mode. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, it's going to be okay, kiddo. And Dragon, of course, is going to kind of feed into your moments. But I love the way that we see the seeds of what Fred eventually does being planted in this. He's looking at the box. He's, it's like you can just see the gears turning. He's saying like, oh, don't worry. There's still one more day, Well,
no, there's not one more day, Tiki. It's a matter
of the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, that's what I mean. It's anyways. So yeah, it's just a very heartwarming moment. Shows off what a good character, even if he is a one-off. He's still very effective in this episode.
He leaves an impression.
Yeah, definitely.
Or it's kind of a Christmas Carol reference too. Like nephew Fred, Uncle Fred.
Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to think which one it died. Okay, I think the one that comes next for me is the Muffy song about Francine. I don't know. I just think this song has a lot of clever wordplay in it, and I also really like it visually. I like how there's like some kind of like semi-dark undertones to it, where it's
that Francine's the slave and all the.
Exactly. Like Francine is like she's the one like mining coal while Muffy is like up in the. But what I like about that is what you guys were hinting at earlier. It's kind of like in Muffy's view, this isn't it's not necessarily that she's trying to be racist or whatever. It's it's more that that's her view of like what Francine would actually like to do, because she knows that Francine is the more kind of like the more hands-on tomboy type, and Muffy is the more princessy type.
Yeah.
So I like how it comes from a place of friendship, even though it's kind of like it's understandable ignorance, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So and then I guess my third favorite moment, probably the most funny moment in the whole special is Arthur's not the worst case scenario, but kind of like the fantasy he has like about like, oh no, what's gonna happen? So I love how melodramatic it is, first of all, with the mother like, I understand you breaking one, Arthur, but two.
So basically, his worst case scenario is the Fairly Odd Parents.
Right, exactly. God. It's just like, I love how over the top that is. It's just like, it's just like the mother's like not taking any, any account into the thought of it. You know what I mean? It's just like, by buying this and breaking it, you have double forsaken me. And then let's see. I also, and then of course Binky comes in to steal the show because Binky just starts laughing at Arthur, and Arthur's just like, Binky, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in this fantasy.
I love how all the adults in the background are confused by Binky's presence.
God.
But I love that Binky just kind of dropping by. He offers
each cobbler.
Yep. Get out of here.
Oh, that's so priceless. That's classic Binky.
Yeah, good continuation of his running gag.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, so Dragon, I feel like we should kind of transition from, because I was talking about the Fred moment. I feel like we could kind of transition into your moments. You don't have to talk about Fred first chronologically, but I'm saying I'll pass the buck to you.
All right. Okay, so this is a scene. It's always kind of like, whenever I think of this special, I've always thought of this moment because I'm thinking of the bird plot line, the bird plot line where it starts, and it kind of starts in a relatable position of Arthur doing Christmas shopping. And honestly, T, whenever we do a pitch and Christmas shopping comes into the fray, kind of the two things is kind of instantly when you think Christmas shopping are eyes for me. It's just kind of it's Jingle All the Way and this moment, to be quite honest. Those are
I also think of Arnold's Christmas with Helga, but.
That's fair. I'm just saying, as kind of again, the first thing that pops in here before you kind of start breaking it down. Point is, Arthur going Christmas shopping here, and again, it mainly has a lot of products in. Again, the Veginator, the olive depitter, and what it really gets to with the moment in question is when he decides to the really thoughtful gesture to replace the crystal bird that he broke by accident. Of course, he instantly sold him out. That he broke. But regardless, the point is that gesture in itself I always thought was really nice. And that's honestly what you should always strive for when you do a Christmas gift. Something is really someone has mentioned offhandedly they've completely forgotten about, but they're going to be really wowed by when you say, oh, man, look at that. It's like, it gets you the perfect gift. And again, it kind of fits the whole perfect Christmas angle of this thing, the perfect gift to make up for a past mistake. And the gesture I really like, but the image that was always burned in my head from this special and with Arthur around Christmas time is him waiting in that long line and purchasing it, with coins. See, that's the image when I think Christmas shopping, because I'm thinking all the shenanigans are running around the Mall of America and Jingle All the Way, but also the payment of it with coins. It's that funny time elapse, and as a kid, you're going to try to do that at some point. So you get things with coins. I can instead of I don't have the cash money available to me, but you find some coins, you get enough of them together, and hey, you can buy some.
Right.
It's always just been a fun image. It's probably my favorite image from the thing. If I had to pick one, just the paying with the coin. So
all right,
feel for the crystal bird. Nice. All right. Next, I kind of melded these two together. They have just the premise of Baxter Day, but mainly the Christmas morning, the beginning of the actual Christmas morning for Buster and his mother. So Baxter Day in itself is a really sweet concept. It's a good sequence. It's a good song as well. Just all the I agree with you.
Maybe you get a snack or 5.
Yeah, exactly. The floating food and everything.
Rhyme there.
Right. You got the fun food. You get some good food information as well. There's just kind of food in there. But aside from that, though, it's a fun sequence and just a sweet concept. The kid just wants to spend Christmas with his mother. No agenda. No laundry list of things that have to go right. No plans. It's a casual Christmas. That's all he wants. And I love seeing the Christmas unfolding. And Buster kind of as in the back of his mind, and you see just kind of the day not going perfectly, but he's still, he's still kind of painting a nice picture for his mother in things going wrong. Where for me, one of my favorites, because again, this takes me back to Christmases I've had, where you get these gifts, and again, knowing honestly, it's still like this for me, but I imagine especially for kids, the backstory behind all these toys, and like all and you're spelling out to the parents who really don't get it, but you're spelling it out like, oh man, this is so great. You have to explain the toy, and got to explain all the specifics.
Honestly having to explain that about like why I'm so stoked to get a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a powerful fucking Nintendo console with open world gameplay, and you can take it anywhere. And it's just like, what now?
And you get the same response of, "Oh, how about that?"
Like, yeah, this is the theater that Music Man was in, and this one had Oklahoma in it. Like, yeah, explaining the things you're passionate about to the others in your life.
So I mean, yeah, of course, it also has like some great. Like I remember doing this probably with with the Dragon Ball Z toys when they came out years ago. Like I don't know, it's not along those lines. I've had like various toy lines.
I mean, every toy line has variations of this, like Ninja Turtles, Transformers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even with a few of the Batman animated series toys as well. Even the crappy ones. Now we have far better Batman animated series toys. So.
God.
Regardless, again, with more of the product placement, just the fictional series like CyberCod and Techno Trout. I love that. I love explaining the delineation, I love the design on those toys. Again, that and the black pancakes thing that we've alluded to with our pancake tangent earlier on. It's all sweet. Him just kind of looking on the bright side here with this Christmas bound to go wrong. And again, stressing out his mother, but he's making the best of it. So it's an endearing sequence. So lastly, last moments for me, Fred saving the day. It's a really nice sacrificial play here. It's a nice it's a nice holiday sacrificial play where he also has bungled kind of an item of Kate's in the past, where Kate Reed, her tea set was broken, and Fred. It's a good reveal because we know Fred's up to something. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Jane, Kate's the baby.
Oh right, darn it. Yes, sorry. Yeah, right, Jane. Yes, because he's broken something of Jane's in the past. So, so Fred again, he's up to something. He's gonna. I know exactly what switcheroo because I knew he worked in like an antique place or I'm sorry, China shop. He worked in a China shop, and I assumed I don't know, maybe it's close by and he can drive somehow get there. I don't know what he's gonna pull and if he had like extra samples or anything, but no, it's just what he did was really awesome. He he labeled his gift that it was from Arthur, and it was saying exactly what she wanted in the same route as the other gift. It wasn't like a direct miracle solution. Like he didn't just have to have like another spare bird or anything. But it was really nice. It was a really endearing kind of switch that he pulled for Arthur's benefit that surprised Arthur, and he kind of took a bit of a hit for it. He didn't have anything for it, but it was really nice. It makes you like Fred even more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, that's
Monkey, you're up.
Okay, just gonna get this one out of the way quickly. Do I have to go chronologically?
Not necessarily.
Okay, never mind. I'll go chronologically. So the scene, one of my highlights is the scene where the Crosswires visit Francine's apartment. You get that great gag when they show up, like, "Here, we brought you a ham."
God.
I don't know why. I've always loved Muffy's dad. I always like Mr. Crosswire. I love his design. I love how he talks. I love like the constant kind of that checkered, almost car salesman jacket he wears, even though he's a rich guy. I love it.
Yeah, that's a great gag. And then like Francine's dad's reaction to the ham, the face he has. Gotta wonder what huh?
That's a kosher gag, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what they ended up doing with that ham.
Yeah, right.
Probably just kept it for display or gave it the binky to give to the homeless folks. I don't know.
You know what? Give it the binky to give to the homeless folks. I like that. I'm putting that in my headcanon now.
All right, there we go.
And,
it was a merry day.
Yeah. You get Muffy, like I said, like realizing her mistake and why Francine felt the way that she did about the situation. You get, as well as, Francine saying that this Hanukkah tradition makes her feel like a part of something special. Love that.
Yeah, I love that too, Monkey. Of course, as someone who's not Jewish myself, I think that it's a really good kind of window into something that's not exactly Christmas, but it explains the power of the holiday so well.
And
just the sense of like I feel like I'm part of something special.
Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
Monkey, with that line, I got to tell you guys again, that was also in the running for my moments too. Initially, I was, we shopped it around. Who eventually got it, but with that, that line always stuck with me from the special because honestly, that moment, along with the Rugrats episode about Hanukkah, those are my real windows into kind of getting what Hanukkah, getting like a better approximation of what Hanukkah really was. Those are kind of my go-tos. And that line specifically, just her. The image of, again, short of that buying the bird thing, short of like the coin is like Francine by the window in front of the menorah, with the lit candles and everything, kind of saying it makes me feel like I'm part of something. That line always kind of echoed with me from that special about basically with Christmas shopping and what Hanukkah was. Those were kind of my two takeaways from this big special years ago.
Like this and Rugrats are good windows.
Yeah.
And then of course like, we have another tradition that we do every Christmas. Go to the movies.
Yay, capitalism!
That was nice, though. It was like, hey, they're going to movies on Christmas.
I think what I love about it is that, that is pretty true.
Yeah, it's what I'm going to do at the movies. It's what I'm going to do this Christmas, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I still have this distinct image of, like, walking into, like, the mall on Christmas Day to see Cheaper by the Dozen there and, like, the mall being empty and such.
Oh, weird. Nice.
Like a ghost town.
Yeah. Malls freak me out for that reason, but that's a whole different tangent. Yeah. Anyways, so I guess
freak you out.
Well, it freaks me out because it's I don't know, like really big locations with not a lot of people in it. Just the isolation of that just kind of gets to me. I don't know. Right. Anyways, I know it's weird, but so Monkey, any other moments you want to highlight?
All right, so I guess it's all.
I like the gag at the end where you see Mr. Ratburn excitedly planning the rest of the school year.
Yes,
Mr. Ratburn.
Yeah, it's a fun gag like that. I mean, it's a fun gag, like that's what he's doing that's what he's getting him so excited. But and at the same time, there is a kind of niceness to it that, like, that's his passion. And he finds such joy in it.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Monkey. That is nice. But at the same time, he gives far too advanced work to children. To those what are they in fourth grade or these?
Third.
Third grade. He's giving all that to third graders. Come on, he gives them like a five.
He's basically like treating it like college.
Yeah.
I sat around. I went to a theme park or two a couple times. Saw a movie. Maybe saw a show. How do I stretch that out to 5?
I know, right?
You couldn't just defiantly have the first 4 pages say, read this.
Super verbose and redundant with it.
Yeah,
I've been there. I can BS among the best with stretching.
That's usually what I try and do. Just like
or do the Bart Simpson method and pad it out with 6 pages of ads.
Oh God. All right. Anyways, so should we move on to ask the question to round everything out? How's it hold up?
Oh, that's nicely. Like I'm sure it's appeal to some people more than others, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's for us this year, at least for me. I think it's the most nostalgic pick we've got for seasonal Shenanigans this year.
Oh, I'll sign off on that.
Yeah, again, nostalgic. I'm not saying the best because again, I think so far Snow's in the running for that. I don't know, but
that's Superman running for nostalgia as well.
Sorry, what?
I'm pretty sure that Supermansion is nostalgic.
Oh, don't get me started.
Anyway,
oh, don't get me started.
So it's got a of course the special. It's got some power and some that educational element within it. I think allows it to hold up as a holiday special. I think. Again, it's not shying away from things. It's ambitious in the best way without being over ambitious. I feel the same way about it. I felt then. I like that. So again, it feels with that. That's why it really feels kind of nostalgic kind of vibe. But it's nostalgic in the best best way. So in that regard, it was a refreshing experience rewatching it after all these years. So it's a smart special. I appreciate it, and again, like of course, like DW still gets on my nerves. That's how the show made me feel. So it did a good job. So that's where I'm coming down. I thought it holds up tremendously well. I mean, it holds up as it did back then. That's something to say. So yeah, holds up well.
All right, Dragon, take us out.
Well, kids, time to dash away, dash away, dash away. All but as we wave goodbye, don't you cry. We'll be back again next time.
And it's beginning to snow.
For even more seasonal shenanigans.
Fa la 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 la
La,
la
la,
la.
Peach cobbler?